Hey guys, last night here, and welcome back to another Transformers review where we review Transformers. And packaging don't matter. I gotta stop doing that because one of these days the packaging is gonna get dented. Though I don't care for the packaging, but today we're gonna be reviewing the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Voyager class DINOBOT. So here there is, before we get into that, he does have a card, which, let me just go get my other two cards from my other two Kingdom figures. Can somebody tell me the difference between the two of these? Like, seriously, can someone tell me the difference? Because I got the Arc and the Autobot Arc. What's the difference here? Like, I mean, I've got two arcs, but they're different labels. As far as I know, and you got the arc crashing there. And somebody, in the comments, please. Nope. 1984. Some in the comments, please translate that, please. Last time this happened was on DINOBOT. It was on DINOBOT's card. It was on my DINOBOT card, and I had to freaking do this perfectly. Completely messed up, so. Well, that's messed up. And for some reason, these just bend. I don't. But then on this arc, it seems to be crashing down. And it's got some, like, Decepticon crap on it. So yeah. But I also do have Dinobot's card, which depicts him with as a Predacon or Animaximal, which is true. I have seen Kingdom. It's actually oh yeah, let me just get this out of the way right now. I watched Kingdom, and you know what? The story's not that bad. The story's its most redeeming quality. The one thing that I know that me and a lot of friggin' Beast Wars fans are really upset about is the voice actors. No shame on the voice actors, no shame on them. But the choice of the voice actors that Netflix decided was freaking bad. Like Dinobot, he didn't sound like Dinobot. He didn't sound like, you know, Dinobot. I can't even tell what he sounded like. I think Cybertron sounded more like Dinobot than Dinobot sounded like Dinobot. But, you know, that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, we're getting off topic here. So here's Dinobot in his Raptor mode. And of course, you know, being the typical, you know, Beast Wars, you know, Beast Mode figures, it's gonna have a lot of kibble. But this isn't the worst that I've seen. I mean, sure, you know, this isn't, you know, this is probably the worst. This is probably, you know, the worst of my collection, but it's not that bad in terms of Beast Mode. Primal's not that great either, but you know, what are you gonna do? So let's take a quick look at the head sculpt. Very goofy-like head sculpt. Not even Raptor-like. It just doesn't look like a Raptor. I did like Dinobot's sculpt, head in the actual show, and I wish they actually went with that kind of head for Dinobot. Get his arms. For some reason, the ways they sculpted his arms, he's doing like the limp wrist. He's doing like the limp wrist thing, and it's just weird. Just weird. There's an upgrade kit for this that gives him, you know, like proper actual arms for that. But, you know, just going down. And there was a lot of paint that I had to use on this guy, particularly gold, and some remodeling as well. There's the other side. You can kind of see, you know, his robot legs just chilling there. So yeah. Articulation-wise, head can move up and down. Mouth can open. really, really wide. That's pretty cool. You do get some tongue detail in there, as well as the teeth. Arms can do full 360. They can go in and out. They can bend both ways due to transformation, and the hands are on a ball joint, so it's a limp wrist. Get the limp wrist going. Legs, which are pretty much the robot mode arms, can go out that far, so you can do the full piss. They can't really move that at the hip right here. They can't really move that much. You can move forward that far, you can go back that far. If during the transformation, if you flip the arms, I'll show when that comes. You can get more range of motion backwards. You get foot rotation, you get backward and forward, and you get you can close up his claws like that. Nothing at the tail due to how it's sculpted. So yeah. So there you have that. And for comparison, here he is with my only other raptor, the last night, Slash. You can see how they work out. Now in terms of raptor mode, I do prefer Dinobot's proportions, because, you know, at least he got his proportions right with the Dino mode here. I think in the actual show, he wasn't, you know, as, you know, back heavy. He didn't have like that much junk in the trunk, as the kids call it these days. But I do prefer Dinobot's proportions as a raptor. Just because here he is with the last person who saw him. Spoiler alert: the last person who saw him alive, and the person who has to give him the most thanks. Siege Prime, which has had a redeco or as of lately. Here he is with Earthrise Prime, which I'm finally deciding to do a review for. That'll be coming out after I get everything else out of the way. So, you have that. Just because here he is with Nemesis Prime, which is the same. I forgot to fold the wheels up. Which is the same as the Siege mold, but you know. And last but not least, here he is with Kingdom Primal. Who's with the focus today? Just you can see how, you know, they stack up with that. Now, he doesn't have any accessories, you know, outside of his storage, because, you know, basically his tail. If you have any the Dinobot figures, or even this figure in general, you know that Dinobot's tail does become his weapon. So, well, once we get to robot mode, we'll discuss that. And speaking of robot mode, let's get to it. So first off, you want to rip off his tail. Parts forming. It's like that for every Dinobot figure. Okay, so where do we start? So first thing you want to do is you want to bring the head down all the way until it, you know, sits in. And there's this little throat piece is spring-loaded, so it'll get out of the way. You want to bring the legs out like that. Just bring them straight out like that. You want to bring the legs. You want to untab the legs from here. They do tab in. They do slide in right there, and they do tab in. They tab in. This tab goes in there. We'll bring the legs down. Fold up the calf. Just tab in. There we go. Fold the feet, and then fold the heel spur out. Then you have the leg all done. Same thing on the other side. Fold feet down. Fold down. Bring out the heel spur. Close up the calf. And then you have the legs all done. or the lower half done right now. At this point, you want to bring up the everything. You want to rotate it all around like that. So the dino head is facing this gold crotch piece. What you want to do is you want to untab this little part to reveal the head. Bring that up. Bring all this in, and this tab right here will go into the back of the dino head. Secure that all in place. And this will just, you know, be floppy around until you until this little clip goes over the bar right here. That locks everything in place miraculously. You want to bring the dino arms back for now. What you want to do is you want to take this little panel, you want to rotate it, bring the arm down, like that. Just bring it to the side right there. Rotate the arm so that the disc is facing back. What you want to do is you want to rotate the hand, close it up, and you have the hand all done. Same thing on the other side. It's better to bring the arm up first. Rotate that, bring that down, bring the arm up, rotate the shoulder, bring all this down, rotate, close up the claw, and there you have the arms all done. What you want to do is you want to bring these in. There's a tab that will go into the palm of the dino hand right there. It'll tab in right there. You want to bring this in. There's a little groove right there that this tab right here in this blue section will go into. So I'll secure that all in place. Same thing on the other side. Tab that in. Rotate that in. Just friction that in. The last thing you want to do is you want to bring all this down, and then there are two tabs in there. There are two slots in there. That's where you want the dino tail, the rest of the dino tail to go. Get the thing situated, and there you have Kingdom DINOBOT in his robot mode. And he actually looks pretty good for, you know, what he is. You know, I feel like they did a really good job with these. Kingdom is actually the best out of the three lines, because, you know, it does bring in the Beast Wars characters, but also, you know, it gives us perfect updates to the Beast Wars characters. If you've seen the Generations DINOBOT, the thing is just, ugh. I mean, these are pretty much like mini masterpieces. Though in the case of DINOBOT, it's far from a mini masterpiece. So let's take a quick look at the head sculpt. Good focus. Nicely done head sculpt. Red there for the eyes. Blue there for the face. You get orange for the helmet. You get the black stripe going along. I do like this little integration with the dino. You can still see the dino head there. Then you have the fake eyes right there, the little abdomen section right there. This has some really beefy arms. The claw hands, which are painted. They're painted gold. Yours truly. So is the croc section, that was painted gold. And then this little strip right here, and then this little part right here, up here for the kneecap was painted in gold, as well as this part of the feet down here. I just didn't like how it looked. I was debating on whether or not to paint these, but it's not going to be worth it because it's just going to end up getting scraped up in Dino mode. So yeah, articulation wise, head is on the ball joints, you need some wiggly waggly there. Arms can do full 360, move in and out, bicep rotation right there, get bend over 90 degrees. Rotation, and the claws can open up. You do get waist rotation. Legs can go forward that far. They can't really go back that far due to how the butt is sculpted. They can go out. You can do full splits. A tight thigh rotation. It's just my copy anyway. You do get bend over 90 degrees. You do get an ankle tilt right there. as well as the feet can move up and down. So, you know, he's really articulated, or fairly articulated, so to speak. So yeah. So, next thing to talk about is, get the focus up, is the rest of his kibble. You can split this. Oop, I just dropped it. You can't split this. Oh, and his sword just flung across the radio station. So you get his shield, his spinning shield, and his sword, which is pretty cool. Now this was painted in silver, as well as the tip. Anyway, you can see it. Tip was sharpened to give it more of like a sword thing. I want to chrome this out, but I feel like that's the paint. It's getting it messed up when I store it in the Dino tail. As well as I did want to paint this entire thing red, because I think in the original show his spinny shield was red in the inside, but you know, I'm not going to do that. And you can arm him up with his weapons. Don't close his hand too much, because it will just fall out. If you can have it like that, and you can have this one of two ways. You can have it. Oh, okay. I really thought you could plug this in like the masterpiece, but you're gonna use the tab right there, and that's gonna go into the hand, like a proper sword. And now he's ready to betray the Predacons and join the Maximals. Although he would make a terrible Maximal. Not in the original series though. He wouldn't make a terrible He didn't make a terrible Maximal in the original series. He was honorable. But in the Netflix show, he was a terrible. Probably would have made a terrible Maximal. He probably would have. So yeah. So there you have that. Now, stand. I need to get a new review station or a new stand for my figures. So for comparison, let's get some. What should I do first? Here's with Earthrise Prime, though we never see him in his Earth mode. Just because they were both in the show. Here he is with present and future Prime. See how they scale. Here he is with Earthrise Starscream and Netflix Soundwave. Don't worry, these guys are getting a review as well. I'm gonna do all my figures. Or did I already? No, I didn't do Starscream's review. I don't think. Also, I don't think I'm gonna get the Coordination Starscream, because that's, you know, that's just bogus. You know, they just repacked this guy with just some new articulation, some new gimmicks. I don't know. Just because he's a warrior as well. Here he is with Kingdom. Here he is with Kingdom Cyclonus with a custom sword that I gave him. And here he is with Primal. And I think the scaling does work between these two. You know, due to the fact that, you know, I think Primal was actually smaller in the original series. So yeah, there you go. So there you have Kingdom Dinobot, and yeah, really solid figure. I really do like the proportions in Dino mode. Of course, you know, the paint is complete and utter garbage, but you know, that's why they made paint for, you know, people. That's why they made paint. That's why they made paint for selling, so you can paint it yourself. And you know, the fact that I had to point out the, you can't see it, but I had to point out the, or make the sword pointy. Originally, the sword was purple and it had like a rounded bit to go with the tail. I didn't really care for that. I made it silver and I made it a lot more pointy. It's just who I am. I have a habit of, you know, sharpening all my freaking all my toy blades to the point where I think I'm gonna cut myself. But you know, that's another story for another time. Now after this, I'm debating whether or not to do my. I do have, I think 3 more new figures, to get their videos out, or their videos ready to go. So I don't know if you're gonna see those yet. I don't know if you're gonna see those next, or if you're gonna see, the Earthrise figures. I gotta redo, I think like 4. Like 2 Earthrise and 2 Netflix figures. I have to redo those reviews. Those are probably going to be after the newer reviews. I also have a build video that I need to get done. That it's done. It's done. Like, you know, it's like it's ready to go. I just need the space on my phone to import it into YouTube, which, you know, is becoming a freaking hassle. So yeah, so I guess that's it. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff down in the description below. And I guess that's pretty much it. So, also, I'm finally out of quarantine, so you might not see as many, you know, reviews. I think my latest one is a Starscream review. I'm not the Studio Series Starscream review. But yeah. So yeah. So don't forget to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram for vlogs down in the description below. And I think that's all there's to say. So there is the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom Voyager class Dinobot, and this is saying, remember, we are here, and we are waiting.
We are here. We are waiting.